It's kind of like too short of a stream though. 2 hours. Only one piss break. That's like basically a full day, right? You see, they took away the Twitch like watch party for Amazon shows right before Fallout came out. That'd have been pretty cool. I should honestly stream on one of the platforms I don't give a shit about, like YouTube or like Kick or something, and just try to like watch a movie until I get banned. I'd love to be just a even lazier streamer. What's my skincare routine? I do use a serum. I use a creamy serum, and you just don't overdo it. What bread is Pip? He would be a big fat loaf of fucking bread. Is he down here? Pippy? I don't know where that little fat bastard is. He's a corgi. Pip! Oh, Pippy! He normally comes when I whistle. Everything everywhere all at once. Yeah, that was a fun theater watch. I remember my friend Cash and I went and watched Fast 7 or something, or the one when Paul Walker died. We went and watched that Fast and Furious movie in theater without seeing any of them before that, and teared up on the Paul Walker tribute. But it was also like it wasn't funny, but we were like also like like a lot of just like old men around us were just like full on bawling. I'm not much of a whiskey drinker now. Fallout New Vegas, I streamed that like once and my game kept crashing. I want to play more like multiplayer games, but I mean, what is there? Rust. How we doing tonight? Jay chilling, Jay hanging out. Jay probably gonna end stream soon so I can smoke a J and watch Fallout. Yeah, stream's basically ending. I was just doing like just chatting a little bit for a second before. Can I just chat for a second, okay, before I watch my TV? I'm going to be watching TV soon, so I'm going to be sitting on my couch watching TV. I found out that my Bluetooth headphones can just connect to my TV, and I can just sit there open mouth, like blasting my ears. And I haven't talked to my family. I haven't talked to my friends. I haven't been on Discord. Like I don't even game off stream. Like I literally just sit right on the other side of this setup and just watch TV, and I love it. I think I'm going to die like that. I mean, I'll probably actually be one of those guys that just like dies in a chair. People don't find, they find my death mark on the chair like months later. I feel bad. I did say that to my grandma once, or I was saying it about my grandma. I'm like, you know what? I kind of like this little life, like she just sits around and she doesn't, she's never remarried or anything. And she just watches good TV all the time. And then someone's like, yeah, she actually does that because she had a really fucked up life. And, like, she'll never love again and all this stuff. I'm like, well, what if I just skip all that? I just go straight to, I like TV. I want to watch TV. If I had a porch, like if I actually had a proper porch, I swear, I get it now. Like, if I had a rocking chair, I mean, I'd sit out there. I'd just sit there and rock. Like, I'm goddamn near 30 years old now. I'm going to be 26 in a month. Like, life's slowing down. It's not all parties. I just canceled my plans to go to Colorado on 420 because I paid my taxes. Okay. No one in Indy even goes out and does anything. I just piss all the time. I can't go anywhere because I have to piss all the fucking time. I have to get a goddamn row seat on a plane, even though I love the window, because I know I'm going to have to piss during it and I don't want to walk past people. Welfare check on Brian. I honestly bet Brian I don't think not being on the podcast has changed nothing for his life. I don't think he cares. But maybe I'll call him and he'll be like, hey man, it's not been good. I just think if I wore a diaper underneath a pair of pants, it'd be really obvious. And I think if I wore like big, I would think like, big like golfer khakis probably are what old people wear to cover it up. But then what if I piss so hard that it soaks through the khaki too? And then I just have a big wet spot. Also, if you piss in a diaper on a plane, don't you just smell like piss? Like a full thing of piss. Like when I piss, this is not a little, like, I'm not shooting out like little squirts of piss, dude. Like I'm filling the toilet. I'm like, literally, it's it goes from like at hole level water to like almost over brim. And yeah, the flow is so powerful. Like I probably cut through whatever material a diaper is. Latex and rubber boots, closed system. That's actually not a bad idea. Distributed around the whole body. I think I'm going to start doing activities. I think I'm going to get a hobby. Nah, that actually sounds exhausting. I just thought of that. And with the mono and with my general lack of like energy, I don't think I could do a hobby. Did it turn out to be mono? Technically, I don't know, but my like advanced strep test came back negative, and the doctor was like, if this comes back negative, you probably have mono. But to be confirmed, I'd have to go get a blood test at my family doctor, of which I do not have one. It wasn't even from kissing. You want to know the fucking worst part? My friend had mono when I went to Chicago, and a guy was like, let me eat your vape. And he's like, dude, I have mono. And also, Marco, if you're watching this, fuck you. He kept being like, dude, I have mono. And he was standing like this fucking far away from me. And he kept being like, hey man, like good. I'm like, dude, back up. And he's like, dude, just don't eat after me or like kiss me. I'm like, there's droplets. Like there's things coming out of your mouth. And he's like, what do you mean? There's no droplets. And I kept being like, dude, get the fuck back. And then just to like rub it in my face, this guy's like, hey man, let me hear your vape. And he's like, no, dude, I have mono. And he's like, don't worry, I'll shirt it. And he just fucking smoked it like through his shirt. And I'm like, oh, this guy's so fucking dumb. And then that guy hit like every person's vape that night. And then we all made out at the end and had an orgy. And I'm like, but then I told the doctor, I'm like, that was like a month and a half ago. And he's like, yeah, that's how long it takes sometimes for mono to like activate from exposure. Like what? A month and a half? What the fuck? And I didn't even like really get to make out with someone. It's one thing if you make out with a chick until you make a wet spot in your pants and then she's like, by the way, I have mono. And you're like, whatever, worth. But a guy just shirt fucking vape and then you maybe asking for a vape later that night because you get really drunk. That's not fair. That's not fair. I don't deserve that. And I don't even know if I have it. The doctor kept saying, well, are you low energy? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, always. He's like, are you more low energy? I'm like, I honestly don't even know. I have no idea. And I almost asked the doctor, but it was like a minute clinic. But I wanted to be like, and also, what does it mean if I piss every 30 minutes? But it was not the type of doctor office to get those kinds of answers. I think what I need is a family doctor. But also in a month, I lose my family's, insurance. So then I'm probably never going to go to a doctor again. Maybe I should just go to the emergency room and be like, I'm pissing way too fucking much. Like, I swear to God, last night when I was trying to watch Fallout, I'd go piss. I'd come down here. I'd sit down. I'd watch like 15, 20 minutes of the show and be like all comfortable. And then I'd be like, no. And I'd have to fucking piss again. I'm like, no. And I have to get up and go piss. At least a lot of the times when I piss, I have to piss so bad and it's so much piss that I get that like, oh fuck, like that relief of like a huge piss every time. And I'm just like, oh fuck, feels so good. Could have prostate cancer. Well, I would like to not think about that. I'm just imagining I get a prostate exam and the guy like fucking like pulls his finger out and it's just covered in so much different stuff. And then he goes, look at this. Isn't this weird? And he makes me look at it and like smell it and stuff. Dude, I don't think I could do a subathon. Like, I want to do a subathon for, let's be real here, why do people do subathons? For the money. But also the prospect of, like, putting a camera on me while I sleep is one of the least appealing things I've ever thought of. I thought about doing a subathon where it's like $100 gets you like 10 seconds. So it's basically like, it's just like a 20-minute stream. And I just act really mad about like, come on, what the fuck, guys? I didn't get enough fucking money. Like, this thing sucked. But, you know, obviously it would just barely, like an impossible amount. But I just like the idea, yeah, it flops out. Or like I just wake up in the middle of the night and I just start like rubbing it. I don't do weird. I just like kick my covers off a lot. Like I'll just wake up like just in my underwear, you know, on my bed, like no blankets on and stuff. Like what would I do on camera? Like I'd have to go to sleep in like a suit. Then what? I'm burning up. I get way too hot. Sugar glass cup smash would be so funny. Yeah, if I had my roommate come in there and just like, wake up, bitch. Psh. That's the whole point. I don't think the whole point of a subathon is the sleeping part. Reactions to a podcast. I hate watching anything I'm in. That would kill me to just watch. If I had to watch an episode of the podcast, I'd be like, I don't know, I'd be freaking out. Imagine hearing yourself on the phone for 3 hours. And every joke that doesn't land, I'd be like, no, stupid. It'd be like torture. Play the Garfield video on loop while you sleep off cam. That's actually, I mean, that's not. See, that's the thing though. It's like if I slept off cam, people would be like, this isn't right. This isn't how subathon is. Because somebody once was like, you know what? What about I put it on camera? What if I maximize? Some money hungry bitch was like, what if they could donate to make loud noises and wake me up all night? Because that's the only time people are going to donate is to like fuck with you. And then what? You play these goddamn alarms? Listen, I'm shitting on the idea of a subathon now, but you give me another tax season or two, I'll fucking do anything. You know, like the podcast goes under. Okay, I'll fucking do anything on this camera at a point. You know, I mean, dude. Every time like one of our like when I'm like, we should have our friend on. It's like the worst fucking thing ever. Not like I always think the podcast is good, but every time like when Omid came on or like Swift or Peanut, they're always like that. Oh, that fucking sucked. Like I was horrible. I fucking sucked. And then they get like mad at like, why would you have me on there? Like, you know, I'm not a podcaster. When will you make more merch? Merch was such a, I do have plans to make more merch, but you don't know what it's like on the back end dealing with like the fucking merch store is such a nightmare. Like I just had such a bad experience with who I used before where they basically fucked me on taxes and I had to like double pay on shit. It was just like an annoying, complicated thing. And then how much they'd fuck up and I'd get people emailing me like, fuck you, Poob. Like my shirt's all fucked up. And I'm like, I don't deal with any, like, I'm not, you know, a high enough creator to get emails from stellar merch companies. I get the very, you know, the average Joe merch company. And if the new people I'm working with hear this, let's be real here. Okay. You are. But I have like a couple different people I've paid to give me some designs, but I'm still waiting on a couple. And then I'm just lazy. How many viewers would feel like too many? I think like 1,000 viewers would be like, I wouldn't like to not be able to read chat. Also, though, this is all conditional on like, as long as the podcast is still going, that's like what I make money from. I would be okay, you know, having like 50 viewers in Twitch that I can like interact with. Now, if I didn't have the podcast, I'd probably be like, I really want like 1,000 viewers so I make fucking money. But right now, I'm lucky enough to have that where I'm like, I like being able to interact with chat, you know? I like being able to read it. I don't like it when it, like you go into someone's stream and it's like fucking, or like emotes. Like just emote stream. Like what's happening here?